Just to. Want me to export on bacon? Good. Go on.
Nora.
Say this one. On the bacon.
Don't like to.
See, some of them.
Need another TPG guy. Do you think that's
Buy a slow world.
so? That's a I still told her nice TPG and football.
Does this need to be saved or huh? Oh, someone right? What?
What? No.
No, someone is.
I'll bring him in on the. We're now joined by so and so. I'll start off with my school. Oh, Victor. What I love you very so much. Have a great tournament. Go to one. Are we throwing like to break between each interview? Or probably, well, yeah, okay, okay.
Say, stay with it.
Yeah, I'll thank them to stay with more, access, more media day coverage coming up. Uh,
I can read it, but it's just something in the background.
well, I think we'll see, like, if one's leaving and there's another one coming in, we'll just kind of flow through, but if we're waiting, I'll throw and then. Opposite. The Canadian Nationals Youth Team U17 tournament opening August 5th to 10th at York University. Girls, You get the best beer in each province being upset. How do you want to go up with this then? Yeah.
Whenever they're good.
Can we start with Heather? Head coach. You street so yeah.
So if you maybe we can set up the broadcast, throw to like we'll have a quick conversation. I'll
Yeah.
set us up. We're here at the Ontario Tech University Durham College Gymnasium. The boys U15, U17 Team Ontario teams getting their what do you call it? Getting their training camp underway.
Yeah.
Media day. Haley, Jay Davidson, Haley Hopkinson. We've had this year. We've seen a lot of great Ontario basketball being played in the OSBA, the OBA. What are you looking forward to when you get all these best players?
That will be fine.
No, yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It'll cut to that. The audio will cut out. We'll get
Yeah.
whoever.
Plus, I think they'll probably like go through these pictures kind of quick and either be waiting for the questions or us.
Yeah, we'll just get whoever we can introduce ourselves off
Yeah.
camera, and then when we come back up, it's like we're now joined by
Yeah.
So and so and so and so. Odosa Again.
Awesome.
So we can come up anytime that you want. Well, we can do like a quick setup like off the top. And then we're going to start with one of the coaches. A minute and a half, 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Might as well start. I'll throw. I'll be like, we'll start with the head coach of the U15 boys, U3. So welcome into the Ontario Tech University Gymnasium. JJ Everson, Haley Hopkinson here for Media Day and the beginning of training camp for Team Ontario's boys U15 and U17 teams. Haley, we've had a chance to see a lot of these players throughout the course of the year, both the OBA and OBSA. When you bring the best players in the province together, you have a short window to get
Yeah.
a title run done, essentially. How does that elevate the game of basketball for these guys?
Yeah, it definitely elevates it because it's the same for every province, but all these guys throughout their entire basketball careers have been working against the same guys. They've all probably know each other from playing against them, studying their game, anything like that. So when you bring them all together, it just brings a new dynamic of, hey, I know you can do this move. I'm going to guard you in practice, make it harder because they just know each other anyways. So when you bring it all together, the competition is just unlike they've probably seen before against the other teams as well, just because you're really just essentially taking the strongest team you can and just throwing it against the other stronger ones.
Well, we're going to be talking to the players of the U15 boys team coming up shortly, followed by the U17 team. But we're going to start actually with the U15 head coach, Yusri Salia. So stay with us. We'll be right back with head coach of the U15 Team Ontario boys team and get the insight on what he's got planned for the coming week of training camp and moving into the national championships next week. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Look at these guys? Do you keep them in mind throughout the regular season or follow them, or is it more of a let's see what they can do when we put them in this situation?
We definitely do our research and we know about these players. But then at the end of the day, when they come out to our previous training camps and ID sessions, it comes down to their level of competitiveness then.
Yeah.
So we're looking to kind of a combination of both.
Awesome.
Coach, you have one returning player from last year, Kenyon, from the U15 team anyway. The other guys moved on to the U17 program. What are you looking for him in terms of his experience in this type of situation and what he can bring in the leadership department?
You know, that's a really great question. When we talked about leaders earlier and looking for leaders, Kenyon was a guy that we identified right away. We knew he was a part of a championship team last year. Um, as a younger player at that time, now we're looking for him to bring in those experiences from last year and be really one of our main leaders for this year. And you know, if you're having conversations with him, he's ready and he's up for the challenge.
And last year, Joel Friesen was part of the coaching staff for this U15 team that won the championship. And is that any part of the message in terms of the legacy of excellence for Team Ontario to these guys that you're preaching?
Yeah, for sure. We let them know right when they signed up for this that Team Ontario has a rich history in terms of national competition. And we want to uphold that standard. And they have to come in and understand that playing for Team Ontario, you're going to have a target on your back in national championships, and you have to want to relish that and be ready to compete.
Yeah, and as much as this is a great opportunity for all the guys, it's also a great coaching opportunity for you. So, what kind of things do you get out of doing this?
You know what? It is a great experience. I've been doing, I've been coaching for a long time. I'm very appreciative to have this opportunity to coach this team at the U15 Team Ontario level. And I'm just looking to keep developing as a coach, bring everything that I've learned through my experiences and translate it to this young group.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thanks for the time, Coach. Best of luck this week, and we'll see you next week. We'll be calling all the games, so we'll be around all the time. Appreciate the time.
Perfect. Thank
Good
you.
luck.
All right. We'll be right back with more player interviews coming right up. Thank you, Coach.
All right, should we go?
All right, we are back here with Bryce Dennis and
Shalon.
Shalon Beckford. Actually, the Instagram handle, Lon2Shifty. When'd you come up with that?
Cause like it's hard for people to guard me, so like
And Brycey buckets, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that one. I mean, you got lucky on that one. But you weren't practicing this morning with the rest of the guys. Talk to us a little bit about what you're suffering with the back there.
So when we were in Chicago yesterday, because we played in the tournament, I went up for a layup and like a guy trampled me and I fell on my back.
But you think you'll be ready to go come this time next week?
Hopefully, yeah, I should be.
Just take it day by day.
Yeah,
Yeah, and so you guys are known as a power duo a lot of the time. You guys are really play off of each other well. So is that something you're definitely wanting to focus on in the playing, is working with each other, or is it just kind of feeling it out when you get out them?
yeah,
We're feeling it out with the team and still working together as
Yeah.
a duo. So like
yeah.
Awesome.
How does rep basketball and high school basketball, where you have time to practice and get in the ins and outs a little bit more of the game, different from when you're preparing for a tournament like this, where you get 1 week of ramp up and then it's game, 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 game?
Because we don't have like not a lot of time to practice, so and we're always like traveling, so we don't have a lot of time. So we just have to work what we got.
And what challenges does that present when it comes time for those games?
body aching, injuries, and like just being tired. But it's all about the mental part and getting through it and just taking care of your body while you can.
We were talking to Coach about the returning player Kenyon from last year from the U15 gold medal team.
Yeah.
How much are you able to kind of pick his brain about the process of these tournaments?
Well, I asked him a lot of questions about how this works because he'll probably know. And knowing Kenyon, he can help a lot. And it just make it easier for us to get in the motion of playing and winning games.
Yeah.
So at this age, you guys there's always in the conversation of everybody being ranked in the 2028 class and everything like that. Does that kind of help you guys with confidence, or is it something you more likely want to tune out?
I don't really pay attention to that type
Yeah.
of stuff. So.
Well, I see it, but like me knowing and other people knowing like what the real deal is, I just continue playing like there is no ranking.
Yeah.
And everyone can get better at some point and everyone's gonna grow.
Mhm.
So
Lastly, when you look at what the challenges ahead, how does Team Ontario come away with back-to-back gold medals? What's it going to take? What are the fine details that need to be honed in on?
Paying
Just-
attention to details and little steps and listening.
just giving all your effort like it's your last time playing basketball and just winning the game.
It all
That's
comes
it.
down to winning,
Yeah.
right?
Just
Yeah.
all effort. That's it.
All right, gentlemen. Best of luck in the rest of training camp. Hopefully, we get to see you on the court next week. We'll be calling all the games, so best of luck. We'll see you next week for sure. More player interviews coming up right after this. Stay with us, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we're back here with Nicholas Woodrich. Nicholas, IG handle. All I know is.
Kill.
Walk me through that mentality.
I mean, like, whenever I get on the court, my mentality is just kill everything in front of me for real, just dominate, and that's basically it.
So you are in the OSBA, go to Crestwood. How do you
I
think?
go to Crown. I go to Crown.
Sorry, Royal Crown.
Yeah.
How does a school like that prepare you for this?
I mean, like, I'm always working with the older guys. You know, I'm surrounded by good coaches. All my peers, you know, they look up to me and stuff like that. So it's just a good environment to work. Can we redo that? You can redo that.
You good?
Or it's like,
You're good. We're live. It's all good.
oh, it's live. Oh, all right, sorry.
Good.
But I'm surrounded by good coaches, good players, especially the older guys. You know, the coach put me in the senior practice sometimes, so it's a good experience for me to get working.
And do you find the coaching style between the coaches at Royal Crown and the coaches of this team like similar, or do you find you have to adjust to their coaching style?
I feel like it's a little similar, but a little different at the same time. Like at Crown, you know, you work more in the system,
Yeah.
but they also give me like, you know, time to be free. And same thing here, we work in the system, but time to be free. So it's kind of similar.
You did a player interview about Royal Crown, and you said The basketball court is where I feel most alive. It takes away all my stress. At what age did you start gravitating towards the court and the ball and really leaning into basketball as an opportunity?
Well, I started playing basketball when I was 6, but like I didn't like look at it as that since I was like maybe like 10, 11. So whenever I get on the court, it's just like takes all my problems away. All I'm locked in is on the ball for real.
And so obviously you would have participated in the OSBA championship. As far as preparation for the nationals, do you find that it's a similar kind of preparing for that, or do you think you're going to maybe attempt to prepare for it a little bit differently?
I feel like here we're gonna prepare for it a little differently, especially because we're at like a camp right now. We're living together basically. It's like a family. But at Crown, we're just at school. We have a limited
Yeah.
amount of time. But right now, we're here for a solid 4 days, and then we're back at it next week. So we have the time that we have right now to use it wisely.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Your team went 13-0 last season in the OSBA.
We went 21, I think, and 0 in the regular season.
Okay,
And then
and
we
then
lost in the finals.
that was yes, we were there. That was a
Understandable.
tough loss. But when you
Yeah.
have that many wins and you get into the culture of winning, how can you take that experience and bring what it takes to win to this team with a bunch of guys who are just very, very skilled and also understand winning?
I think it all starts with practice, to be honest. Like locking it mentally and physically with practice, getting the guys involved, being leaders, talking, getting the energy up. All that from Crown continues to carry it on to here. So I think it should be good.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you for the time, Nicholas. We look forward to watching you play next week.
Appreciate it.
Enjoy the rest of your training camp. We'll be back with more player interviews from the U15 Team Ontario boys team coming up right after this. All right, welcome back inside Team Ontario's U15 and U17 boys training camp. JJ Evison, Haley Hopkinson, now joined by Kenyon St. Louis, the only returning member from last year's U15 gold medal team. What can you take from last year's experience and share with these guys here this week and next week in order to get back-to-back wins?
What can I share is that it's about team. It's not by yourself. You can't do it by yourself. Once you buy into like each other, we can win. We can win for sure.
I noticed earlier you were the most vocal person on the court. You were winning the sprints down to the baselines. Do you view yourself as maybe one of the leaders of this squad?
Yeah, for sure. Since last year, I looked up to a bunch of those guys. They led me, so like I'm trying to do the same thing.
And a couple of those guys from last year are now up with the U17 team,
Yeah.
practicing in here behind us. Is that something that you're kind of looking forward to? Continuing with Team Ontario, maybe getting into Team Canada
Yeah.
operations at some point?
Of course, I'm willing to do that.
And so obviously taking on that leadership role, is that something you've done before, or is it kind of new just with the new wave of guys coming into U15?
Now I've done it before, but my whole life I've been playing up, so I've just been watching guys do it to me. So I'm ready to take on the role to do it.
Awesome. And for you personally, is there something that happened in the Nationals last year that you would like to personally improve on for this year?
My vocal. Since I was a young guy, I was a little like scared to say something and like talk to the guys. But this year, since I'm returning, I feel more confident.
Yeah, and obviously you've seen the talent that there is last year and for this year. Is there a team in particular you definitely are going to be keeping your eye on?
Quebec.
Yeah.
Quebec. I'm ready to beat them again.
Kenyon, your Instagram handle says fear
God. Oh, fear nobody.
nobody.
Fear
When did you
nobody.
start living by that, and when did that become part of your kind of persona?
Since the start of my grade 9 season. Grade 8, I was a little last year for Team Ontario for training camps. I was kind of scared, to be honest. I was nervous to play against those guys, but now, since I shown that I could play up and be on a team, I now know I don't fear nobody.
And then with being a part of Full Circle with the OSBA, how do you feel that and those coaches there and the curriculum there prepares you to do something this major?
Well, full circle is just about family again. It's the full circle, you know. We love our guys, confidence, and we just build character.
Awesome. And with this specific team, how was it like when you guys first all found out who the final roster was? How was the chemistry, and how did everyone click together?
I was really excited. Big names, big names. I was really excited. Phil Lobs, a bunch of dunkers. I'm ready to win.
Perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of training camp. We'll see you next week. We're going to be calling all the games. So best of luck, and we'll be with you the whole way.
Of course. Thank
Appreciate
you so
it.
much.
All right, more interviews coming up right after this, guys. Stay with us. Perfect. Thanks, Ben. All right, we're back here with Isaiah Clark and Isaiah Hamilton. Guys, I'm going to throw this one to you, Hamilton. They call them Hamilton and Clark. Obviously, they don't call them the Isaiahs. Instagram, made by Showtime, said that you two were the duo to watch for Ontario moving forward. How does that make you feel when you get, that kind of recognition and with somebody that you can play so easily with?
It felt good. Like, we know it's obviously like me and him, we work together, we complement each other's games. Like, I want to see him win and he wants to see me win. So it makes me feel good about it because we're on the same team. And yeah.
And so, either one of you, so you guys don't go to the OSBA school. So, how do you find your journey being different when you go to Canada Elite and just have a high school as well?
You know, it's just like for my high school experience, it was just like the energy was different from prep. And so I knew when we get to high school basketball and AAU, I just got to do what I do and show up.
How's your experience any different than that?
No, it's not. No, it's the same thing for me.
What challenges does having this kind of week ramp up into the tournament, like a limited time with each other, present in terms of, chemistry, leadership, vocalization, understanding plays and stuff like that, versus when you have a whole season together? What are the challenges that you face right now?
The challenges would probably I don't.
Okay,
know,
that's
but-
fine.
So, yeah,
Like,
don't
I
know.
mean, the biggest thing I think is finding chemistry with each
Yeah.
other, right? And when you have this limited
Yeah.
run, it takes time to develop that stuff. But when you have high IQ players, like you guys are Team Ontario,
Yes.
does some of that feel like it clicks a little bit better?
Yeah,
A bit,
'cause-
yeah.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
me, it's just, like I know all these guys that are on the team. Like, they're all my dogs. So when we get on the court, it's kind of just they know what I do and I know what they do. So it's just it flows for me.
And how much do the coaching staff, or maybe the players, maybe even Kenyon St. Louis, preach about the excellence of this program, going gold last year? And
Yeah.
do they talk about that a lot?
Yeah. They do. Yeah.
And how does that
a
make you feel to be part of a program that has that kind of prestige?
It's like it is an honor and to be a part of that. So yeah.
It feels good. I just know that the job's not done. We still got to get the chip in. We got to make the run go far.
And was there anybody, you said you guys are all already close already, but was there anybody you haven't gotten the chance to play with before that you are now?
Some of the guys on UPlay, I've never really played with, like Demetrius. Haven't really played with him, but I know what he does because I've played against him, so it makes it easy.
Yeah, and how much of these practices do you think directly translate into the game, or do you think it's more about getting there and just understanding the opponent?
Well, it could be both of that, but me personally, when we go to practice, we work. Like, So we know that we have limited time. So when we're in practice and we're in the gym, we just work and work on what we need to do.
Perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of this week. We'll be on the call all week next week, so we'll see you guys around the gym. Appreciate the time. More player interviews coming up after this quick break. Stay with us. We've got more to discuss on the other side.
All right. We good?
Thanks, guys. All right, back now with Makai Williams, Jordan Fisher, Haley Hopkinson, JJ Everson. Jordan, you down with TPG?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know me. There's a lot of TPG players on this Team Ontario squad. Talk to me about how the chemistry that you've developed with some of those guys can help bleed into the chemistry for the overall team.
With our chemistry, we might bring it over here, help us pass the ball, move around, run the plays and stuff like that for our team.
And being on the national junior circuit, stuff like that, how does that prepare you for being on the big stage of nationals?
It really helps out playing competition. A lot of good teams in this seeing what's happening and stuff like that.
Scarborough Prep, talk to me about your experience there and how what you've learned to that you can bring into the future of your game and your career.
You know, just playing with older kids, you know, cause like ever since I was in grade 8, they just had me playing up, you know, transferred all that information to Royal Crown where I go now, and yeah, it's just been helping me.
And in Royal Crown, we were just talking to Nicholas Woodrich.
Mhm.
You had that 21-0 season. You ended up losing in the finals. It was a
Mhm.
tough loss. Haley and I were both there. But when you go through such a great stretch of basketball like you did last season, and you learn your role within that team, how can you kind of take that and bring it to this team and kind of start in this comfortable space, but then be pushed into maybe something a little uncomfortable where you continue to grow and develop as a player?
It's really a learning experience, cause like I've never been to the finals OSBA. Like, you know, Coach Mike, shout out him, helping me, guiding me. Coach Chris, Royal Crown, helping me, guiding me, just teaching me little things to develop, you know, being mature. Yeah, stuff like that.
And does Coach Mike ever express any stories or teach you guys at all about what it takes to get to the pros? Because you know he is the assistant coach with the Scarborough Shooting Stars,
course.
Canadian Elite Basketball
Mhm.
League. A lot of great Canadian talent there.
Mhm.
And what has his specifically taught you about what it takes to be a pro?
Reps, 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 24/7. Every day I'm in practice, let's talk about extra reps, extra reps, extra reps.
That helps.
Yes. So, Jordan, you've already got multiple offers for your post-secondary, which is obviously super exciting. But what does this opportunity bring to you and all of your teammates on a grander scale?
Just seeing that I got offers, just telling them like just always work hard and stuff like that. Always make sure you show out because might be coaches out here you don't even know.
Mhm. And obviously, both of you being the big guys on the court, what do you guys think is the key to your game to help the team with the success?
Communication and leadership,
Most rebounding and stuff like that.
passing.
Making plays.
Making good reads, communication. I think communication was a big part of the message this morning from the coaches and being loud, being vocal, and talking to each other. So thanks for joining us. Best of luck the rest of training camp. We'll be with you all next week. We're on the call. So we appreciate the time, gentlemen. More interviews with players from the U15 boys, Team Ontario, coming up shortly. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you.
Yes.
Welcome back. We are now joined by Jacob Wolker. Jacob, we saw you had to get some work done early in practice. How's the leg feeling, first of all?
It's getting better, of course. You know, it just needs time to rest, and then I'll be back at it.
There's not much time to rest, given that you have this week to ramp up, and then the tournament starts on Monday. What challenges do you think present themselves in a situation like this versus rep basketball or high school basketball, where it's go, go, go all the time?
Well, of course, it's more difficult, but I take pretty good care of my body, so I think it should be pretty fine by tomorrow or a couple days. So.
And so obviously with it being Team Ontario, taking the best talent in Ontario and putting it on one team, how difficult is it to establish your role on the team, especially being your height and having a lot of other tall guys on the team as well?
Of course, it's challenging, but I like the competitiveness,
Yeah.
and I think it brings the best out of me. So yeah.
Awesome. And then in preparation, as much physical but also mentally, what kind of things do you like to do before a big week-long basketball?
I'm a big person on self-talk. I like self-talk, and it keeps me motivated and just keeps me hungry.
We were talking earlier to Kenyon St. Louis. He's one of the only returning players from last year's U15 team. Have you been able to pick his brain about what this tournament is at all?
Can you please elaborate on that?
Like, have you been able to ask him specific questions about his experience from last year, so that maybe it helps some of these younger guys come in this year?
Yes, especially we were in Chicago this past weekend, and
He did mention Chicago.
And I was just talking to him about this and how his experience was and what's it like. So yeah, it's been a pretty big help with him here, and yeah, just to calm my nerves down a little.
How was the experience in Chicago for the team?
I'd say it was pretty good. We made it to the finals and lost, but there was a lot of things we learned from the weekend, from about each other and as a team. So,
And what are the top two things that you think this team needs to focus on to put the best foot forward to win their second consecutive gold medal at the Nationals?
I think defense is going to be the big thing about our team, and if we can play defense, it'll come into our offense, and just moving the ball with all the talent we have on the team.
Yeah, and a lot of that talent comes from TPG, and all you guys are on this team, it feels like pretty much. But so does that make it a little bit easier of a transition to be practicing with that team to go to a ton of practicing with this team when you're kind of familiar with their play?
Yes, it does. And I know a lot of these kids on the team. I've played with a couple of them, especially with the TPG guys. So it does make it a lot easier. So I have the chemistry already.
Yeah. And how's the team chemistry right now? Does it feel like you guys have been playing with each other for forever?
Yeah, I'd say. And it gets better every time we play on the court. So yeah.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of training camp. We appreciate you taking the time to call. We'll be on the calls all next week, so we'll see you around the gym. Stay with us. We are going to be interviewing some more players from the Ontario U15 boys team coming up shortly. Jacob, thank you for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, joining us now is one of top tier's talents, Tito Onyemachi. Tito, how's camp going so far? I know we just got started. You coming in from Chicago, nice tournament, didn't get the win there, but what did you learn about this team from that experience to take into training camp this week?
Well, I took in from that team like some things experience-wise. Like everyone is fighting for a spot. Nothing's just gonna come to you. Nothing's gonna come easy. You have to go 100% and like show everything you could do leave everything on the floor like it's your last game.
I saw in one of your interviews that you were saying you're working more on your floater just because some guys are getting so tall, jumping so high. Is that still kind of the game plan, or is it just a variety of everything?
Like it changed from that. Like now it's a variety of everything, getting stronger, being quicker, moving faster while like being under control
Yeah.
and just like building around my teammates more so it could fit my game in the playing style. Even here at Team Ontario, it's not like everything I've learned up until this point, it's about being able to apply it into the system, not just going and doing whatever, just freestyling it.
Yeah. So then what do you want to mainly contribute to the team on and off the court?
On and off the court, what I mainly want to contribute to the team is my communication and my leadership.
Amazing.
Is there one player that's kind of standing out amongst the rest? As kind of the leader of the squad? Obviously, Kenyon St. Louis coming back from last year's team has that gold medal, and the expectation is to win. Who's stepping up in the leadership department for you guys?
Stepping up in the leadership department, besides me, I would say probably Nicholas Witherich, because he, even though he's one of the younger guys, he talks on the floor, he's aggressive, makes sure everyone's in check, like he's a point guard. So yeah,
Just in just researching you, a lot of people have spoke about your basketball IQ and how that really helps you as a player. Do you think that's something that really contributes to this specific team?
yeah. I feel like everyone on this team is really smart, but the guys who could play make, who have good decision making, always keep their head up, who are strong mentally, they'll stay on the court and they'll make it really, really far.
Tito, you do a good amount of training with press on pass. What does the team at that facility and that group do for your game to elevate you and push you forward?
For me, they're trying to get me to learn like more guard skills so that even if I keep growing and growing and growing, like my height won't be something that holds me back because I still have all the little things that everyone else can do.
And this team, everyone's been saying it's a family. Everyone's been saying that throughout the training, it's just been getting stronger and stronger. How did you see it at the very start of it?
At the very start, like I'd say it was the same thing. Like everyone here to compete, nothing's changed. Everyone's going 100%, but people are actually even fighting more because it's such a short amount of people that are gonna stay. It's like it's an equal chance for everyone that some are gonna be gone, but some will come back.
Mhm.
So
And a lot of these players have played against each other in different leagues. And when you have that competitive kind of, opponent kind of view, and then all of a sudden your teammates, how do you have to make that shift? Or is it just like, oh, we're all hoopers, there's a big brotherhood, and we kind of get what's going on?
at the end of the day, like it's just basketball. No one has any true enemies. Like, and what happens on the court stays on the court. So outside, now that we're on the same team, we're a family now. We're competing against other people, so we have to come together and make something out of it.
And what does this opportunity overall just mean for you and your future in basketball?
This opportunity, what it means for me is actually a lot. Because from here, like after Ontario basketball, I'll become Team Canada and I get to represent my country and then show up for Canada.
Is there anybody on Team Canada right now that you kind of like to watch in particular?
Shea Gilgis Alexander.
Yeah, who doesn't like to watch him, huh?
Right?
Everyone loves him. He's a great guy. He does everything. Fashion dude too. So
That
yeah.
he is. Well, thank you for taking the time, Tito. We appreciate it. We'll see y'all next week. We'll be calling the game. So best of luck in the rest of training camp, and we'll see you when the tournament kicks off.
All right. Thank you.
All right, more interviews coming up right after this. All right, joining us now is another TPG member, Noah Dacre. A lot of TPG guys here. You down with TPG?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I left them just a couple like months ago. I'm on UPlay Canada now, but of course, still good buddies with all the guys, the coaches. But yeah, it was a great experience with TPG and UPlay for sure.
Awesome. And you play right now. That's obviously something new for you. Does it kind of help when you start with a new group of guys, kind of help it make it easier for you to start with Team Ontario group of guys?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like practicing like 3 times a week with those guys. I mean, I played with some of them before,
But yeah, having to play with you play and TPG, a lot of these guys are on Ontario. A lot of the coaches as well. It's been a blast, but a lot of fun.
You made an appearance in the Made Hoops Junior Series in Georgia. How did you manage to get down there in the States and start playing the ball there?
So, just last summer with TPG, I wasn't originally with the team. I got invited by Coach Elvis. Yeah, just called me up, called me and Kenyon, and we just played. Just came out and played. Yeah, it was good fun.
You mentioned Kenyon. He's the returning player from last year's U15 gold medal team. What do you view his importance on this team in terms of pushing the pace and getting everybody to perform at an elite level to hopefully win another gold medal?
I mean, yeah, he has the most experience out of all of us for sure. Like playing there last year, playing up, playing with older guys. I mean, he should be the leader of this team. I mean, I played with him like since grade 6. You know, it's been fun for both of us playing on. It was Brampton Warriors, DTA United, TPG, Team Ontario. So yeah, it's been fun with both of us for sure, and his father as well.
Awesome. So you're a multi-level scorer. What do you want to mostly contribute on the court for this team?
I think just providing energy on and off the court, just my defense, 3-point shooting for sure, and just getting to the bucket. You know, just feeding the ball, just being an all-around player, but mostly just like defense, just 3-and-D guy for sure. Because there's a lot of players that can hoop, so I just want to emphasize those two like aspects of the game.
Yeah. Was it difficult for everyone to establish their role on this team, or did everything kind of just fall into place?
It kind of both. I mean, all really fell into place because a lot of us have played together, played on TBGU play. So yeah, it kind of just all fell together. Really.
Going through walkthrough this morning in your first practice, what is kind of the biggest message from today so far that needs to be addressed to get the best foot forward when the tournament begins next week?
I think just got to stay locked in mentally and physically. Just got to stay together, stay locked in on and off the court. Just stay together as a team. Like heads are gonna drop, but we all just gotta stay composed. So.
Is this coaching style familiar to you, or is it an adjustment?
Yeah, no, it's definitely familiar with me. With assistant coaches, yeah, it's pretty familiar to me. Of course, I played in junior academy last year. A lot of the playing style is very similar from there to here. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak to us.
course.
We'll be there all next week calling the game, so we'll see you play, and we'll hopefully get to catch up with you then.
Sounds good.
Stick with us. We'll be back with more interviews with players and coaches from the U15. All right, we're back here with Adosa Agayure. Talk to me about a little bit about the training you put in outside of your club and your high school at the lab, and what that has allowed you to do to progress as a player.
Well, at the lab, I train with another person on Team Ontario, Isaiah Lucasa. We really I try to get individual training because usually a lot of people come to lab. We don't really get a lot of reps, and then the only real reps we get is when we scrimmage at the end. So I really just try to get my own time, pay a little bit extra to get my own time with JP, the trainer at lab. I also have a personal trainer. We train at Milton Sports Center, LA Fitness. We even go to Dryland and Etobicoke. So yeah.
And with training camp starting right now, what is the most important thing for you to really focus in on to be the most prepared you can for nationals?
And training camp, most prepared I can. Probably just when we do this training, try to get as much rest as I can, like shooting, because usually I start off really cold. Like I need to get to the gym early. If I don't shoot before, then I'm gonna be cold for the whole game or for the whole practice. So that's something I really have to hope that's something I have to do here to prepare myself for nationals, and especially conditioning too. I know it's gonna be tiring, so I have to really get in shape here. Yeah.
Awesome. And with all the different levels you play in, even knowing Bishop Reading is a super competitive high school with sports and everything like that, how does it help you to play on all the different sort of levels to really bring everything together for nationals?
How does it help me? Well, I'm not gonna lie, junior was a little bit easy. I try to play with the senior guys. We really because the senior is much more competitive. It's like actual grown men. I'm only 14. I'm playing against people at 17, 18. So that really prepared me. That really helped me for the competitive because I know the nationals are gonna or the provincial. What are they called? Nationals.
Nationals.
Nationals are gonna be pretty competitive. So yeah, I try to train people and play against people that are better than me so that when I play my actual age group and skill level, I'll be way better.
Are you
than everybody.
aware kind of the tradition of excellence for this Team Ontario team?
Yeah.
Having won multiple gold medals, and most recently last year, obviously Kenya St. Louis was part of that team.
Yeah.
Is that preached at all throughout this
Yeah,
process?
yeah. Coach tells us that we have to keep our winning record. I know that us being winners, there's gonna be a lot of people trying to trying to beat us because they're basically gonna be everyone's gonna be against us because we always win
Hmm.
against all the other provinces. So
And the host.
yeah.
So that's a little out of pressure there.
Yeah.
But you were just saying how you haven't had previous experience with these coaches, but you've played against some of them. How has the coach? I know you guys only started today, but does it feel like a good coaching style for you specifically?
Yeah, yeah, they're all I know when we do training, they're it's kind of intense, but they just want what's best for us, and especially Coach Elvis, before practice, he was helping me with my shot because he saw me shooting on the side rink. He came and helped me before practice started. On the court, they're intense, but off the court, they're really nice people too.
Amazing.
Perfect. Well, enjoy the rest of training camp. We'll see you next week. We're calling all the games, so we'll be up there at York University. Hope to catch up with you again. We got more coming from Media Day. Team Ontario, U15, U17 boys. Stick with us.